is our safe place, so whatever it is that you have to tell me, you can tell me here.
Kiss me.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would love to, but why now?
You may never kiss me the same after this. You may never kiss me again.
Annie, let me help you.
On the plane, that article that you found about my dad on your computer.
Yeah. Why did you get so upset? What happened to your father?
I can't.
Hey. Do you trust me?
I do.
Yeah. Then trust me to listen.
When my dad got hurt, that's when everything fell apart. It was like my family crashed out that window, too. I didn't ever want to think about it again, and I didn't want you looking into it. I don't want to lose you, too.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Now, tell me what happened to your father.
When my mom died, it just got worse.
Did the fall happen around the same time?
No, she died after, when My dad was so angry at me, it was never the same.
What? Does your father somehow blame you for your mother's death? Why would he do that?
Because I killed her.
You couldn't have killed your mother, Annie. You could never.
I did. My mother is dead because of me.
I know you,
No.
Annie.
Ryan, you know the things I've wanted you to know. You don't know the real me. No one here knows the real me.
Look, Annie, everybody comes from somewhere, okay? You can't possibly be that different than the woman that I know. Look, your father, when he fell, was he drunk?
No, it was nothing like that.
I know how that goes, you know.
My dad never wanted to talk about what happened.
Now, the paper said that he fell, but that it was under investigation.
The investigation went nowhere. He told the police it was an accident, and we were never allowed to talk about it.
But what about your mom? I mean, your mom must have known the real story.
I tried talking to my mom, but it was no use. She would shut down.
And your father?
Dad used his deafness as like a refuge after that. Whenever anybody would bring it up, he would pretend that he hadn't read their lips and just turn the other way. He didn't hear me. He never wanted to hear me. And I tried to tell him.
What happened?
My mom and I got in a horrible fight, the worst we'd ever been. It was ugly, and the things she said to me, it was awful. I can still hear them.
Okay. So, some things that parents say never go away. Annie, how did your mother die?
She killed herself. Because of me. Because of what I did. What I did to my family that day, the way I hurt them. I might as well have handed her that rope and tied it over the beam and helped her lift her hand up and...
You found your mother.
said such awful things. We were screaming and screaming until we were hoarse, and then I left. I left her, and I went to my room, and I slammed the door. And it was quiet. It was so quiet in the house. You heard anything, and I don't know why I didn't hear. And I went to find her. I went to find my mom. I went to try to make her understand or apologize or something. But when I got there, it was too late. She was just...
You didn't kill your mother, Annie.
I did, Ryan. It was my fault. Twice. Once for driving her to it, and then for not finding her in time. That's why my father blames me.
It was not your fault.
No, he's right. He's right. I drove her to it. Because of what I did to my brother.
A brother? You never mentioned anything.
I didn't want you to know.
Why?
Richie was everything that was wrong with our family, but nobody else could see it. My parents, they would just make excuses for him. Like, if he was pushing around a kid until he broke a wrist, they were just boys being boys. And if we couldn't find the neighbor's cat, there's no way Richie was involved. It was like Richie, he was this force. And he was cute and adorable and charming and funny. He was so funny. He could make you laugh until your sides hurt. But then he could turn it off. And then it was like a light went out and he could be cruel. He could just be truly cruel.
God, I'm sorry, Annie.
We got older, it got worse. The more charming he got, the more he was capable of. But my parents, they called him special. Spirited was the word they used. Precocious. A born leader. It wasn't Richie's fault if the other kids couldn't keep up.
Well, did you ever talk to them about your brother?
Yes, I tried. I sat them down and I told them how I felt. And my dad said that I was the sick one. And my mom said that I was just jealous. And they said that Richie had gifts and we needed to encourage them.
And it got worse, didn't it?
I kept my mouth shut. But I was always worried that someone would get seriously hurt. I knew. I just knew.
And someone did.
My father.
Richie pushed your father out the window.
My dad never said it. And Richie always denied it. But I just knew. And there's my dad sitting in a hospital bed, cut up and bruised and deaf, and he still defended Richie. I had to protect myself. I had to protect my family.
Why didn't anybody else see Richie this way?
Richie was so smooth. He could make you feel so special and so important, but he could also make you feel like everything was your fault, and that he had done nothing wrong. That you had just imagined everything.
Annie, you did not imagine this. Okay, your brother had problems. All right? I mean, both my brothers struggled with things, and I blame myself, but it wasn't my fault, and this was not your fault.
But you helped Jonathan get better.
Well, what did you do about your brother?
I testified against him in court as my mom screamed and sobbed. I had him put in jail for 10 years. And that was the day my mother killed herself.